Divorce in New York is expensive. But what if I told you that most couples make these 5 common financial mistakes that really can be avoided when you're getting divorced in New York? Because I have seen it far too many times where a couple will spend $20,000 to fight over that $2,000 living room set, or spend a tremendous amount of money on things that they don't even actually know what they're fighting about. But it doesn't have to be that way. In today's video, let's talk about the 5 top mistakes that people make when it comes to finances and getting divorced, and exactly how you can avoid them to protect your credit, to protect your money, and your peace of mind. Make sure to stick around to the end, where we are going to talk about the Smoother Divorce Checklist and how that's going to help you get started on the right foot. Welcome back to Divorce Den, everyone, where our goal is to empower you to make the best decisions during and after divorce. Let's jump into the 5 financial mistakes that are far too common when it comes to getting divorced. Mistake number 1, not knowing what you own or what you owe, not really having a clear financial picture. Walking into your divorce without understanding the full picture really can cost so much money. Honestly, I've seen many people come in either into my office, or I've seen it in the courthouse, in public, where people didn't even know that they had retirement accounts. They didn't know that their spouse had a certain retirement account. They didn't know how much debt there was. They didn't know that their spouse took out debt. They didn't realize how much they had. So it's really important to have a full picture of everything that you own, everything that you owe, and actually what the income is as well, because that lack of knowledge really can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So let's focus on a solution there. It is so important that before you even file, or immediately after you file, once you start negotiating, once you start talking to your soon-to-be ex, make sure that you are writing down everything that you own, everything that you owe, write down all of the income, get statements, make sure that you're starting to put together a spreadsheet. I don't care if you're putting it on a notepad. Make sure that you're starting to document everything, because I assure you, when you start doing that, you're going to find gaps. You are going to find things that you forgot about, things that you didn't know about, amounts that maybe you thought were different. So having a full picture from the beginning can save you so much money. I've seen people say, oh my goodness, I didn't know we still had that bank account open, or I didn't know we had a gym member subscription from 1998 and we're still paying for it. So again, these are things that you don't necessarily know about because maybe they're not taking a huge hit to your wallet. But in the long run, these things can compound and they can really affect you financially. And I'm not saying that you have to go into this thinking, oh my gosh, I have to cancel every single thing. No, you have to start from a place of understanding and start from a place of knowledge. So again, that knowledge base is going to save you so much money. And again, please stick around to the end, because our Smoother Divorce Checklist does include everything on there and leaves lines for things that maybe you forgot, so you can include it, because having it all in one place really is going to be invaluable. And here's a bonus tip to help you. If you have a CDFA, a Certified Divorce Financial Analyst, they can help you get all of the information, help you with the information gathering, and take that information and collate it. Put it together in one place that makes sense. And then speak to you about it. Educate you about, oh, you know what? Maybe there is a little bit more debt. Maybe there's a little bit more in retirement. Maybe you can think about trading off here or there. Maybe you should think about paying off this card first because this makes more sense financially. They have the skill set, they have the knowledge, and they have the tools to be able to help you do that. So bonus tip, if you can pull it in a CDFA, I assure you it's going to save you so much money in the long run. Mistake number 2, letting your emotions, guilt, or fear dictate your future. Maybe your spouse says, here's the agreement, just sign off on it, let's move forward. We don't have to have anything reviewed by an attorney. You and I trust each other, let's just do it and move forward. Once you sign it and it gets filed with the court and becomes an order, there's no undoing that. There's no reset button. You have now committed yourself to whatever is on paper there. What's the solution? Take a step back. Slow down, take a deep breath, review everything very, very carefully. Make sure that number 1, you fully understand it. Number 2, everything is included in there. There isn't that one bank account that's left off. There isn't a retirement account that's left out of there. Make sure that you have an eagle's eye, reading every word, making sure you fully understand it, even having a checklist on the side to make sure that you are comparing what it is that you think you have to what's actually in the agreement. Number 3, review it with a professional. You need to read it, you need to digest it, and you need to understand it. And then you also need to review it with a professional. And that professional knows what to look out for. If there are any gaps, anything that might not be aligned properly, that professional can give you guidance and can give you suggestions on ways to clean it all up and make sure that it's exactly the way the both of you want it. And now please understand, what I am telling you is not that you cannot agree to anything you want, right? I was talking about not agreeing out of fear or guilt or shame or anything else. However, sometimes you will say, you know what, I'm willing to give that up because I don't want to continue the battle, because I don't want to keep the divorce going, because I don't want to drag my kids into this. That's okay. However, you do need to do it with a clear head, and you do need to do it with your eyes wide open and fully understanding what the terms are. Once you have that information and you fully understand it, I highly encourage you to make the decision that's right for you, that makes the most sense for you. So if you know exactly what's in there and you know exactly what you're giving up, I would never tell you not to do that. Nobody knows what the price of your piece is except for you. Do this because the next step makes the most sense for you to move forward with this. You fully understand everything, even if you're giving something up. Bonus tip here, check out Divorce Den Blueprint and fill out the free assessment form to see if you and your soon-to-be ex might qualify in New York to do a flat fee, streamlined divorce model so that you don't have to waste time and money going to court, and you don't have to waste tens of thousands of dollars for an attorney to file the divorce for you. Okay, and here's a very often overlooked one. Mistake number 3, protecting your credit. This one really can be a money killer because a lot of times there are financial stressors that are happening in the relationship. And sometimes you do have to live off of credit cards for a little while. Sometimes your spouse has been using a credit card in ways that you didn't even realize. And maybe you're an authorized user on that card and you don't understand how it's affecting your credit. No matter what, if your name is associated with that card in any way, your credit could be on the line. And that is so important when it comes to housing. Where are you going to be living after the divorce? Are you going to sell the house and buy another one? How are you going to do that if your credit is tanking? What if you're going to get an apartment? Most places run credit checks. Guess what? If you don't have good credit, they could charge you more, or they can ask for a bigger deposit, or they can just flat out refuse to rent to you. And please know that even if a credit card is in your spouse's name, technically during a marriage, you might be required to be liable for a certain portion of that. Doesn't mean you can't agree to something different, but you just need to understand what the credit card debt is, what loans there are. Are there student loans? Are there other loans on the house? Are there personal loans? Are there business loans? All of this needs to be taken into consideration when you're talking about debt. So what's a solution? Try to take control early. If at all possible, freeze or close any joint bank accounts. Make sure that the two of you are starting to separate your money and your credit card accounts. And then you can start to build up your own credit in your own name. You get a card in your name, your partner gets a card in their name, and you can start to be responsible for your own cards, and you can start to move forward financially independent of one another. And at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be living independent financial lives, so the sooner you start, the better. Mistake number 4, not accounting for the hidden costs down the road. When you are looking at a divorce, it is a moment in time right now. However, the divorce repercussions are long-lasting. It's not about resolving all of the issues right now, just for this snapshot in time. It's about forward thinking, forward planning. What about tax implications? You get divorced today, at the end of the year, or come the beginning of the next year, are you going to get hit with big tax implications? Something to think about. What about the cost of housing? The cost of housing today might not be what it is next year. We've all seen that. What about medical fees? What about childcare? All of these expenses cost what they cost now, today, but that's not what they're going to cost tomorrow. So you need to take this into consideration when you're making decisions for your future. Solution, make sure that you are mapping out your financial future. Make sure that you are considering how old your children are now, how old they will be in 10 years, 15 years, whenever child support is going to end. Think about what the market is going to look like potentially if you're going to sell your house in a year or two. Think about what the interest rates are like. Are you really going to lock yourselves in to refinance your house within 6 months? The interest rates don't look like they're going to change. Are you going to be able to afford that? So be honest and be real when you write everything down, and be very future focused when you're doing that. And please do not underestimate the power of bringing in your CPA or other tax professional. Have them take a look at your agreement and make sure that they are informing you about any potential tax liabilities. Attorneys are not generally CPAs. They don't know what the future tax liabilities might be. However, your tax professional will. So take all of that into consideration, write it all down, start making your plan, pull in a CDFA again if you need to, and make sure that you do not feel blindsided by all of these future expenses. And finally, mistake number 5, fighting over every dollar. Again, while you are entitled to what you're entitled to and you should have the full financial picture before making any decisions, being penny smart and pound foolish, I think that's how the expression goes, really will not serve you in the long run. And this is why. A lot of times people get so focused and so lasered in on getting exactly what they want. However, what is it that they want? Maybe, again, it's that living room set. Maybe the living room set was $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. It's a $10,000 living room set, and that's what you're focused on. And no, that was given to me as a gift from my great aunt. It was imported from Italy. It's very important to me. Sentimentally, I understand that. I fully get it. But are you going to spend $15,000 with your attorney in your attorney fees just to get that $10,000 living room set? Think about what that means in the long run. Can you replace those memories? Of course not. If somebody takes the living room set that brings you a lot of joy and brings you certain memories, that's a real loss. However, we're talking about finances here. And when we're talking about money, you have to start thinking about, now I'm creating a new future. Do I want to waste $15,000, $20,000 on a $10,000 living room set? Or do I want to take pictures of it? Or do I want to cherish those memories without actually having the living room set? Only you can make that decision. However, I will tell you, fighting over finances is also emotionally exhausting. So it's not just the money that you're spending. If you have unlimited resources and you want to fight about that living room set, that's your prerogative. However, how quickly do you think that that's going to wear down on you emotionally? I assure you, I have seen it so many times. It wears on people financially for sure, but sometimes emotionally first. They cannot take it anymore, and they wind up giving. And now you've just paid your attorney $15,000 for you to say, okay, I give. Think about that from the beginning. Sometimes you need to stop, take a step back, and actually ask yourself, is that one item, is that one topic worth it? Is it worth the fight? More often than not, it makes more sense to look at the bigger goals than just focusing in on that one thing. The bigger goal is that the two of you can now live separate and apart, separate financial lives, get your own living room sets, get your own place to live your financially best future, and not have to stay embroiled in the battle. Because thinking about your long-term financial stability and peace of mind, honestly, is worth more than any dollar you're going to spend in a divorce litigation matter. So now you know the top 5 financial mistakes that are far too common when it comes to getting divorced. Number 1, not understanding your assets. Number 2, making agreements out of fear. Number 3, not looking out for your credit. Number 4, not considering what the future costs might be. And number 5, fighting over pennies. So if you want to avoid these mistakes, plus others, please go to divorceden.com, go to our downloadable forms, and please download the Smoother Divorce Checklist. Start writing down all of your information now, as early as possible, and make sure that you're protecting yourself financially. There will be a link in the description below. It is completely free to you. Please make it your own. Print it, write everything out on it, include more if you need to. Just make it your own and start to create a financial future that makes sense for you. And if you found today's video helpful, please like and subscribe, and please share this with anyone else who might be thinking about getting divorced, and tell them to avoid these 5 financial mistakes when it comes to getting divorced. I know how challenging a time of divorce is. You do not have to do it alone, and you do not have to go financially broke to get to the other side. Thank you so much, everyone, again for joining me today on Divorce Den. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care.